Hi, I'm Julie. Let's talk about some reasons that you might not identify with your astrology chart the first time you ever look it up. In today's video, I'm going to go over the top 4 reasons that I commonly see that people don't really seem to identify with their chart very well, and what I have learned and observed that have explained this a little bit better for me and might help to provide some clarity for you. So let's jump right in. Reason number 1 you might not identify with your astrology chart is because you're only looking at your sun sign. Your sun sign is a big part of who you are and how you present to the world, but it's only one part. And there could be a lot of reasons that you don't identify with it specifically. We'll clarify some of those later in this video. But if the only part of your chart that you know is your sun sign, because that's the one that gets reported in magazines and all kinds of different online articles, and it's based on your birthday, so you don't really have to do any digging to know what your sun sign is. If you don't readily identify with that sign, you might think that all of astrology is a total wash. So keep watching this video and all of my other videos to learn more about what astrology really is and what it has to tell you about yourself and others so that you can dig a lot deeper to find out more of the truth of who you are. Reason number 2 that I see a lot of people really reject different parts of their chart is because they've overheard a lot of negative stereotypes about that particular zodiac sign, and they don't want to be associated with the negative characteristics that often get presented about that sign. And hey, I totally get that. Why would you want to identify with a zodiac sign if you're always being told that that sign is a show-off or melodramatic or totally crazy? You wouldn't want to identify with that most of the time. And so you might be quick to go, oh no, that's not me. I'm not like that. That's not me. Because you're over identifying, or maybe you've only ever heard the negative stereotypes about that zodiac sign. So if this is you, please subscribe and hit that bell so that you never miss another one of my videos, because I'm going to do an entire series of videos on why you should love every different one of the zodiac signs. And when those videos start coming out, I'm going to put a link to that playlist right here. And in the meantime, you'll just have to wait in suspense. The third reason that you might not identify very well with your chart is if you've had a lot of negative messages sent to you throughout your life about the traits associated with that zodiac sign. So this could be negative messaging coming from your family when you were younger growing up, or it could be messaging from society not valuing those traits. And quickly, I'll give 2 examples. So the first 4 of my signs are all in Aquarius, and one of the trademark characteristics of an Aquarius is wanting to be very independent and having a very strong mind and strong will a lot of the time. And I grew up in a very conservative family and religious community that did not value that at all. So I was constantly fed messages that those parts of my personality basically needed to be uprooted and that it wasn't acceptable for me to be so strong-willed. On the other hand, I see especially people who have placements of Cancer or Pisces, which are 2 water signs, and we'll talk more about those in future videos. Those signs tend to feel and express a lot of emotion, but up until very recently, it was considered weak and bad and dramatic to have emotions. And so I have observed that a lot of people with these 2 particular zodiac placements in their chart tend to deny that part of themselves a lot. They've either learned how to shut it down completely, they overcompensate in other areas of their chart to try to minimize those traits, or they have a lot of suffering internally because they feel like there's something wrong with them them for having these emotions, and it makes it hard to accept and love these parts of themselves. But I have a video series, like I said, that's coming out very soon on loving all of the parts of your chart. So please make sure and stay tuned for that if anything that I just said rings true for you. The fourth reason that I commonly see that people don't identify very strongly with their chart is if their chart has a lot of opposite types of zodiac signs in it that kind of contradict each other a little bit and dampen some of the strength of some of those sign placements. So one example might be, let's say that your sun sign is Aries, which is typically a sign that's thought of to be quick action and very vibrant and very, lots of leadership ability and these sorts of things. And that person is like, I don't feel like a leader. I don't really feel like I have a lot of energy most of the time. I don't ever really put myself out there very much. It could be because there's a lot of other placements in their chart that really mellow out a lot of those more fiery elements that Aries would normally bring to the chart. So if you've got, let's just say, a lot of water signs in your chart, then they might really mellow out that Aries energy a lot, and that Aries fiery, leadership, excitement, energetic energy might only come out sometimes in some situations, but it may not be a huge theme throughout all of your day. And so again, going back to point number one, if you only know your sun sign and the rest of your chart is very opposite to that sun sign, then yeah, you're not going to feel like you identify very well with that. And so learning more about your chart and all of the different elements of it and how they all interact together to present one whole you is something that can be really valuable to you. And if you want my help doing that, then check out the description or the comments below because I do offer astrology chart and tarot readings, and I would be so excited to help put those pieces together for you and help you to better understand how all of those different pieces of you work together and are represented by your chart. So if that's something you're interested in, please follow the link in the description or the comments and sign up for a reading with me. So tell me in the comments, do you identify with your chart? If you don't identify with it, do you have any theories as to why you don't identify with it? Or is it just that you feel like astrology is just a load of hogwash? And that's okay, a lot of people do, and I'm not here to push my beliefs on anybody. But if there's something deep down inside that says, you know what, maybe if I just learned a little bit more about this, I would identify more with it, or I would understand myself better. I would love to learn more about myself through the lens of astrology, then please make sure you're subscribed to my channel, you hit that little bell so that you get all the notifications about my new videos, and stay tuned because I've got a lot coming out that's really going to break this down by planet and sign and how they all interact with each other. So make sure you stay tuned so you don't miss any of it, and I'll see you in the next video.